Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, so this is what we've covered in the 3 days. We've covered the cover page. You put your name. You can have a slogan or tagline, whatever you call it. If you don't have, you can leave it. If you have, put. We gave you the choice of either deciding to put a 3-year or a 5-year business plan. And you say, obviously, this plan is from 2021 to 2026. If it is 5 or 2020, whatever, 2021 to 2024, if it is 3. As you can see here, this is, it's saying 3, but this looks like 5. So ideally here should be 5, or it should be, if it is 3, then this should be 2024. I hope that clarification makes it better. You know, sometimes you need to put this so that you are able to understand. Okay, then we went to, here you can put the logo. You can put your logo if you have one. If you don't have, you can put your products. You can choose whichever, or you can actually even put both, okay? But anything that represents your organization, either products or the logo, okay? Okay, that was clear. Who has authored, who has written, which month was it written? Because usually we don't take a day on the business plan, so it's usually probably a month or less. So the month at which the information was put together, the location of the organization, the email of whoever authored, okay? We looked at the details page, and here it's, as I mentioned, you'll not see it in many business plans, but it brings out the authenticity, the identification of the organization in terms of details and compliance aspects. Then we jumped to the executive summary. We said this is the very last thing we shall do after we finish financial. So here we didn't even look at it. We looked at the business overview, and we preferred working with a table, okay? And that table was shared, so I'm just going to paste that table here shortly. Let me just get the table. Oh, where is the table? Where's the table? Okay, I'm seeing this table here. Okay, so I'll pick the table because it looks like it was the preferred mode of many, which is still fine. So we put that, where's the company description? Okay, right. Okay, so I put that, okay. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Okay, so we looked at the business overview, or some of you call it the company description. I'll just leave it as business overview. You can use different names. The name, what is the structure, who is the representative, or who can we contact? When was it founded? What is your value proposition? For those of you who have several, you will say, okay, for these people, maybe for households, this is our value proposition. Okay. For restaurants, this is our value proposition. Okay. So just in case you have several different value proposition, it's also fine. All right. What products and services? You can put your products, and you can even mention the price or the cost at a glance if you want. Okay, vision, mission, goals. You can put your vision, mission. This is important, but for the business plan, this is more important. Okay, in some cases, I put these goals on the vision side, but I thought this time, let's look at putting it in form of SMART goals. So you can say in 3 years, I want to reach. Okay, so as you can see, Muka, 500 entrepreneurs across Uganda by 2024, 250 entrepreneurs to be connected to financing by 2024, and creation of 1,000 sustainable jobs. That can be your SMART goal. So when I go on my implementation plan, you'll find I have to to divide and say, okay, where am I? How far? What should you have achieved? So it brings out that picture. Okay. Then we talked about your current performance. How is the company performing? Hey, we are in production. We now produce 500 tons a day. We are generating at least this amount of money a week or a month. We've invested this amount of money. Our current status, we have 4 functional machines, 1 drying facility. We generate about 10 million. Okay. Key team members. We have Mr. Edwin Sali here. We have Mr. Mugerwa. We have Nani. You put the key management team. And then location, we are located in Bulenga, branch 1. If you have 2, then we are located also in Bombo. Do you have any funder who has given you, or you have some money that you've received externally, you can inform? Usually it gives 2 dimensions. 1, it shows that somebody else has trusted you. And 2, if it is a debt, then somebody needs to know so that they see, okay, can you manage if we give you another, or we need to structure it differently? All right. Then I introduced 2 tables, which I did give you, and I'm going to share this later. I said I wanted us to now, because you are all trying to expand or do, so there are some things you are trying to target. Maybe I want key intervention area, you need a machine, you need an additional drying facility, you need this, you need that, you need, why do you need it? I need a drying facility to increase. Edwin said he wants an additional drying facility to dry 5,000 additional pieces. You need this to do this. You need this to do this. So you inform. Like, those are the gaps that are existing that you are going to fill by the time you reach the 2024 mark or the 2026 mark. Okay, so that is a table I brought out because I noticed when we go on implementation roadmap, it's also something you'll be saying, okay, now I need to have set this up by this date. I need to have set this up by this date. So they actually become like milestones. I hope you are seeing why this was introduced. And then if you are getting loan from bank or whatever, or financials who may want to see, okay, but is this person bankable? Okay, you can declare what you already have. We have a factory. We have a factory. It is worth this amount of money. We have a drying facility. We have 4 honeycomb machines, which is the current value. If they have said you have to value it as scrap, if it was scrap, how much would it be? But if it is a functional machine, how much would you sell if you were to sell it now in the market, not a new one? Okay, so you put those values. Now, this is important because it stands in as what we can call collateral in case that is an attribute that may be required. But it's just good to know that you have gone this far and somebody who is coming needs to take you that far. So this also presents the assets you've been able to build over time. Okay, now some of you have stock, like you are dealing in, like for example, Mr. Rico, you have stock. So there you can say you have stock or inventory. Some people call it stock, some people call it inventory. So your average stock is probably worth 10 million. So you put estimated value of my stock is currently 10 million. Somebody had a question, sorry, I was...
It is Wens.
Yes, Wens.
I was begging because this is something I did not match with you in the Monday and in the early Tuesday. I did not see the first pages you have just gone through. I was begging if it would be for our case of good, of feeling it well and really doing it good. You send it this thing you are showing us. You just send it to us on email so that we can use it as a guide and we really do the thing which we want to do and we don't beat about the bush. Because you see, we are learning, but we need to really have something on our table to guide us. Like me, I have not gotten the past.
Yes, so once the first day was recorded, so you'll be able to get that. We shall discuss with Rebbe how you'll be able to access that. But I'm going through these 2 tables I added because I wanted to increase more, to add more concreteness on your bankability. So, and they are very important. You'll it on many business plans, but they are very important, and we've added that. Okay. Next. Okay, that one is done. So that is company description. So you've seen it gives a picture where you are, where the gaps are, what you have so far. Now, anybody who wants to engage will appreciate that picture and know, okay, this one we can work with, this one, okay, we may need to prioritize this or that. Okay, we went to market opportunity, and on market opportunity, we identified who is our market. What problem are we solving for them? And in the process of solving that problem, what is our value to them? And that was done using this table, and we finished that. But based on that, you are saying you're offering value, but who else is out there and what are they doing? Okay, and that brought us the competitive analysis form, where we looked that you can compare by who, that is competing companies, or by what in terms of alternative products. But the ultimate goal is I want to know the standing out statement. What makes you stand out from either competing companies or the alternative products? That competing statement is the summary of your competitive analysis. Then we went to the product slide, the product chapter. And on product, we said you mention the product and the features. If you have one product, it could be as simple as what you are seeing here. But if you have several... Yes, when?
Excuse me, Roy.
Yes, please.
My battery has now 2%. I would beg you give me the last talk because it is almost getting off. Because to me, if I would beg you give me the last word to me only as an individual, because I'm almost going off. Then you can stay with others. My battery is getting off.
So the last word is everything that I'm saying. So when you go off, you will still be able to get the recording. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. All right. So we went on the product slide and we said, you look at your product, you can put the image and the features. Okay. If there are several products of the same kind, you can still have one picture, but you put the different sizes and the price point. Okay. Yeah, as per this example. Okay. And I said, in some of you, your products have a story. Okay. Your products have a story in terms of the value chain. Maybe you work with farmers, you work with, so there we would need to have an illustration of like a value chain analysis, like give us an impression of, hey, maybe I work with farmers. So I shared, I think, an image which was not really so, but let me just see if I can return that image. Yeah, something like this. Okay, so it could be this image. You can say, now there are farmers here, here they are buyers. This is what we do. This is our process, our model. So the way we do, we can, as you can see, we are enabling people access our product cheaply. The way Magezi was saying, we can get this, people can get our breeding kits cheaply on a pay-you-go, but we are ensuring that they can still pay because this is how we are handling it. Now somebody says, oh, so you're actually empowering the community. Okay, so that is on how it works. Okay, and through it, you'll find these people you work with, whether they are cooperatives, whether they are specific suppliers, whether you have transporting partners, whether you have all of them fall in as partners. So you'll mention the challenge or the need that they fulfill. Maybe you have transporting needs and your key partner is Mr. Magezi Transporters, and the role is they transport raw materials from A to B. Okay, so you put all the different partners and their roles there. Okay, because they contribute towards the product, but also the cost of the product. Okay. Then we looked at the market, and on the market we said you already identified the who, and that is the market opportunity. And this time we said, okay, now you know the market opportunity, give us the size that you are going to target. Okay, we've seen we have a potential of 2 million, but we want to convert at least 200 by year 4. We shall be having 200,000 households. So He puts the target 200,000. And how will we reach them? Social media, maybe word of mouth, maybe, okay? Marketing is really about either attracting attention, interest, making them buy and keeping them. So that is the marketing process. Distribution is how will they access. So you'll notice the things that you did in how will they know on your business model canvas fall under marketing. And the things that you did under how will they access fall under distribution. Okay, so you have done that for your all for the different target market segments. Okay, this is clear. Then we have looked at your implementation roadmap. Now there are two things. We talked about milestones, then we talked about roadmap. Now I said mention the milestone, the things that you have to achieve by the time you reach, if it is 2024, what are those things you have to achieve? Oh, I need to have a new machine. Oh, I'll need to have additional workspace. Oh, I'll need a drying facility. Oh, I'll need, okay? Then by when should you achieve this? Okay, now once you put your when, you can easily now put phases and say, okay, this one, since they fall in 1 quarter of year 1, I'll say phase 1, I will do the following activities. The description is I'll be able to achieve ABC. Phase 2, I'll do the following, I'll achieve the following milestones to achieve this. Okay, so that is how it flows. We started with your key milestones, due date, okay, and from the key milestones, due date, you can go ahead and say, okay, this requires this amount of money. This money is going to come from me, or I'm going to borrow, or yeah. So the total, and you break it down. Is it coming from the company, or coming externally, or from the director, whatever. Okay, we finished the roadmap, went to the management team and said, the management is one of the core important areas. Why? People do not invest in buildings. We do not invest in machines. We invest in people, the people who are running that business. So their qualifications, their experience, their background is very important when you are justifying. When you say, Sally, he has been 7 years. If you say he has managed, if he has managed maybe green business, whatever, somebody say, hey, how much was business, a green business? Okay, so he has managed a big company, so he can get there. You get, so whatever you present on the management needs to show that these people are, we can trust them. You cannot go asking for 1 billion, and by virtue of your presenting yourself, there you present yourself, people say, okay, so you need to ensure that by presentation, we appreciate the team that is behind. And beyond that, if you have advisors or governors, people of high credibility, if you have maybe people who are, and you put them, or they are your advisors, you know, somebody say, okay, the fact that they have these credible people, we can trust them. And you see, this credibility grows as you grow on in terms of your expectations, especially externally. Since you are looking maybe for money or resources, those are some of the things that come into play. We talked about management, right? And we said, okay, on management, based on the roles, you need to come up with an organogram or an organizational structure, which shows the reporting levels. So you can have managing director, production manager, finance, okay? If the board is above the managing director, I will have to add the board. And I'll say, maybe I will draw a kagundi there, and maybe say, I have, what is that? Let me just rename this. I say, board of governors. Or I can say, board of advisors. It depends. If they are official, obviously they are governors. If they are not, so it's still, they can be advisor. Okay, and then I put there. Okay, for somebody like Gracilla who has a board, maybe that's what it could look like. All right, we looked at this financial plan. We said this is what we're going to look at next. We looked at, oh God, we didn't look at risk analysis. Okay, we shall look at I actually thought we had covered this. Okay, on risk analysis, we didn't cover, but I'll give you that as an assignment because most of you have done SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. So ideally on SWOT, we just put the strengths of what do you have? And usually strengths and weaknesses are internal, opportunities and threats are external. Okay, so I will just share an example of SWOT so that you can all remember and you can put that as an assignment. We shall do a recap of that before we do financials. Okay, but risk is the SWOT analysis is one of the commonest tools used. So I don't think it will be complicated, but we shall look at it. We shall look at it. We shall also look at the internal and external. So I'm not going to talk much, but I will recommend try it out. When we reach there, we shall just basically guide you. Okay. So that basically sums up, and we did impact analysis on day one, where you chose which goals you are impacting and you quantified by virtue of what you do, the kind of impact you are doing. Okay. So this basically sums up what we have done so far. As I've said, for the risk analysis, fill it, but we shall guide you. Okay. Just for purposes of information, strengths and weaknesses are internal. So strengths can be, we have a competent team. We have working capital. We have our own working space. Okay, weaknesses can be maybe technical team for production, or maybe organizational, or maybe registration, maybe if you need, or you can say informal. Okay, that could be an internal because it's within. Opportunities are things that maybe the government policy banning banning charcoal use is an opportunity. Demand from restaurants in the area to save on fuel. Maybe there is a huge demand, okay? Or maybe an opportunity could be the cost of charcoal, high cost of charcoal. These are external opportunities that influence, okay? Threats are usually, for example, limited supply of charcoal, okay? If there is no charcoal, there is no charcoal, okay? Or maybe lockdown. Lockdown is a threat to your business, courtesy of government policy. Okay. Threats are external, so anything that is beyond your control. Opportunities are also not in your control, they happen. Maybe natural weather conditions, I don't know. Those are threats. Okay, I hope this is clear and you can be able to just do that, but we shall still clarify. And you'll notice the same way we have strengths and weaknesses internal and opportunities and threats external, it's the same way we have internal risks. Sorry, we have risks, but they are classified internally and externally. Okay, so you'll find we have internal risks and external risks. So internal risks are maybe a machine getting spoiled, poor design. These are internal things that are within. If you get a wrong machine, what happens? Some of you want to buy machines. If it doesn't work, if it wears out, if technical team maybe not having competent team, what is the likelihood? How are you going to overcome? External things like lockdown, things beyond your control. Okay, so you'll find they are fairly related. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, this marks the content side of the business. plan, and I would like to encourage all of us to fine tune what we've come up with, put the content, and we shall be following up individually. And for those ones, if you want me to check, feel free to share. I can put comments, recommend. Usually it's good when information is fresh so that you fine tune. Okay, when you delay, it denies you the opportunity to actually refresh. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Other than that, I just wanted to highlight what you should expect next week. We shall be doing financial modeling. Now, financial modeling is really creating a financial plan, but one that has flexibility. When you change, when things change, it also changes. Okay, so I will tailor a template and share, but you will need to know sort of some of the things that you need to pay attention to. So I'll probably share also a simple clip where you can go through and fill in. Then next Thursday, we shall connect. Because we've gone overboard with the time, I don't want to take more of your time, but I'll be able to share a simple clip in terms of guiding how you should feel. Then next week, we shall actually have a session on that. Any questions? Other than that, I want to appreciate you for making time, and yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I'll stop recording on this.